Hello, here we are today with my Suzuki Cara. I am going to go over how to install the spoiler and mount it to the trunk lid. This one here is the Mazdaspeed Replica. I got it on Yahoo Auctions. It's supposed to be fiberglass. Quality seems okay. I don't really know much about bodywork, but it's smooth. It's I don't know. It fits. What am I supposed to ask for here? As you can see here, it's like a two-piece that seems to be somehow adhered together with some sort of stuff. I don't know what that is. As I said, I'm not familiar with bodywork. Overall, it's smooth, it's glossy. I don't know what that means, but I'm sure for prep work, they'll probably have to sand it, buff it, and then prime and paint. There are some rough edges. Let's go with this one right here. Not sure how well it shows up on camera, but the whole thing is smooth, but right here is a little bit rough. I'm sure it's nothing that sanding can't do anything about. It's pretty straightforward. I usually work with wood, and I mean, looking at this, if I hit this with like 220 sandpaper, it should probably fix that. So overall, it's okay. This is a dry fit. It's just on. I'm looking to align it before I figure out how to drill. From what I understand, this is supposed to line up, so this should shift forward a little bit more. Maybe something like that. I might have to do both sides. Oh, there we go. There we go. Something like that. Same on this side. Just have to shift the whole thing forward. I've looked up some of these pictures. The rearmost hole is roughly around there, and the front hole is somewhere around there. And as we know, under this trunk lid, there's no electronics, there's nothing. This is just hollow fiberglass. That's going to make drilling a little bit easier because you don't have to worry about breaking any wires or whatnot. Same on this side, right about there. Actually, I have a weird stain here. And then right about there. Just test fitting some bolts here because this didn't come with any hardware. Looks like it's an M6 one thread. I am probably going to go with the 16 mil. I bought a whole bunch of these. This looks adequate for length. I'm trying to figure out how to make locator strips for the holes. I decided I'm going to try this. So I'm just going to take some painter's tape, peel out about a foot, lay it down with the sticky side up, and then peel out another section about the same length. It doesn't have to be exact, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to line it up, but purposely kind of be a little bit crooked. Oh, well, this one actually turned out pretty good. So much for being purposely crooked. So they use one of these just to get a sliver of tape sticking out on the side, so it has some stickiness to it, but not too much. As you can see here, this is kind of adhered because this one's off center and there's like a little strip of adhesive sticking this tape to this spoiler, and I'll have some overhang in the sides on both sides. This is the same. Put it over the hole. Just lightly pressing on, not too hard. I'm going to use something pointy to poke a hole first. Now to make the hole bigger, I think I'm going to thread the bolt through it if I can. Yeah, that looks like it'll work. Just got to get it twisted through so I have a puncture in the tape that's roughly the size of the screw hole. Make sure the tape is still good. Place the spoiler over the trunk where it's supposed to be.
Now tape over the tape that's on the trunk.
Put it as close to the spoiler as you can to create as much leverage holding it down as you possibly can. You don't want those holes shifting on you. Honestly, looking at this again, 3 might be overkill, but at least it's secure. Tape doesn't cost much, don't worry about that. Alright, let's try that again. So, I'm just gonna gently lift up on one side. Ooh. And then gently lift up the other side. Tape came off. Tape is now applied there. Should be able to do that, and that's okay. Inspect my handiwork. So, as you can see, it looks like it has transferred properly, and these are fairly close to the edges, but I am pretty satisfied with what I got here. Without further ado, here I am with this center punch to ruin my car. I've never done this before. You're here to witness this with me firsthand. Here we go. Okay. Whew. That was stressful. So, let's peel this guy off. Okay, so there's a little hole here, a little hole there. The paint kind of flaky there. Paint is way flaky here, and there's a little hole there. So these punched little holes should help guide me in sending a drill bit through. Let's go get one of those. Okay, so I usually tape over where I'm drilling on a painted surface to help protect the painted surface. And I'm gonna start with a smaller drill bit first, just so I can locate it on the other side to make sure everything seems to be going well. It's not exactly straight down, so it's slightly at an angle. It's highly scientific here, so let's see. I'm gonna call this 82 degrees. All right, here goes nothing. Ooh. Okay, now I know it doesn't take much to go through this because it is fiberglass, I guess. Same thing here. Try not to collapse it through this time. Nope, couldn't help myself. Well, what do you know? It didn't go all the way through. I'm gonna get a longer drill bit then. Okay, so I got a longer drill bit, sent it through all the way. The back hole looks about right, and the front hole, that looks about right too. So, this is looking good. Let's do the other side now. Oh shit. Well, that sucks. Broke my damn drill bit. Once again, story of my life. Nothing can go easy. At least I can probably extract that. Oh. This is what it looks like underneath. Not bad. So I got a hole saw. I chose the 1.5 inch because it's gonna seem like it's easy for me to access. I started it with by hand just to look because I was afraid this drill bit was gonna go through the other side. Okay, that takes care of this one side. 1.5 is probably excessive, but that's plenty of space for you to muck about with your fingers. Okay, so it's not going to be as neat. I cut the top with a hole saw, so it's like a nice perfect circle. But I'm going to use this Dremel with this cutting tip. I forget what it's called, but I use this to cut some tile, cut a hole in a tile in my bathroom. And it seems like it should be able to work here. I'm just going to basically bore this section out a little bit more so it's bigger. Not as big as that, but bigger than this, so at least I can get my hardware through. Honestly, that's not bad. I'm quite pleased with this. And I discovered this weird little, looks like a little cable in there. I don't know what that's for. You can leave me a comment if you know what that is. Clean up your cocaine that's everywhere. Fix this. Here's the moment of truth. Did I actually do this right, or did I just ruin the car? It's ruined, right? Ooh, this one looks good. This one also looks good. For not having to do this before, I'm quite pleased with myself right now. Look at that. This is fantastic. This is great. It's just fiberglass. It's like an 1/8 inch, a 1/4 inch thick. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a washer, and I'm gonna use a lock washer instead of using Loctite. I don't know how secure that nut is in this Repro boiler. So the other thing is this edge right here is contacting the paint, and I'm sure this will be contacting too once I secure it. I am buying a piece of thin neoprene rubber, probably 1/32, and just putting this in here just in case. I'm not sure if it actually matters, but it's nice to have it if it'll fit. And then overall, this looks pretty good. So off to the paint shop. I brought the whole thing to the paint shop, and they told me they don't typically do this. I'm using this one body shop that I saw pretty good reviews for, and they look like they do pretty good work. And it's probably not worth me paying them to do this anyways, because this really wasn't that hard. I've never done this before, and considering so, this took me maybe a whole 20 minutes because I took my sweet time and I ran into some random little issues, but it wasn't that bad. So I was quoted about 400 bucks to paint it. They're gonna prep the surface and everything, make it real nice, prime it, and paint match it. So I'll get this painted, bring it home, then I'll do a final mounting video. Hopefully that happens soon. I can't wait. I'm kind of excited all about this. You can leave a comment, tell me what you think about my handiwork and what a terrible job I did. But anyways, subscribe and see you next time.